Alright, we're gonna get started here with our Chicory run by SushiKishi. You can start whenever you're ready.
Okay, let me see who is in the lead for favorite food bid war. What is everybody's favorite food this event? It is
waffles.
Not the Manderville Man, that is the other bid war. It is not the Manderville Man. It is waffles. Waffles takes the lead by $75 over Borscht. And with that, I am ready to go. We'll get started on 3, 2, 1, go. And this is Chicory, A Colorful Tale. This game came out just this year, actually. It's an indie title, and we are playing, today we're playing as Waffles. The default name being Pizza, if you will, but there's a lot of default options to choose from. And Pizza Waffles is a janitor on the Wielder's Tower that we just left. So before you can even start the game, really, you need to take care of your job there, and that's just to clean up the room a little bit with the broom. And by the time I'm done explaining all that, we're already into our first boss fight of the run, which is the third boss fight of the game, unless I got my numbers all mixed up again. I can skip that cutscene. There we go. Against a pair of giant eyeballs. Oh no! Against the big old hair. No! This first boss fight is going to be against Chicory, so we're already at the end of the game. This is the boss that the whole game is named after, right? So it's really quick run today. Not quite that simple. But we do start with this third boss fight. Because the abilities that you unlock throughout the game aren't unlocked in any particular order. It depends on what boss you fight, of course. And this boss fight is going to unlock the ability to jump. And we're just going to let us go out of bounds in a ton of different ways, allow for a lot more sequence breaking. And if you're wondering about that clip that was right at the start, I know I was talking about the intro right over it. We're gonna see it again. It's very, very easy. It's very, very quick, so it's easy to miss it, but we're gonna see it again. I'll talk about it a little bit more on our second trip through. I don't have the jump button yet. That's what I'm fighting here to unlock. So I tried to jump that attack, but it didn't go so well. There we go. I was so busy. Forgot I don't have the jump button again.
Do we have a second for an announcement?
Absolutely.
We just hit 10K with a $1,000 donation from
Whoa!
Which also brings our total lifetime donations to the Trevor Project past the 100,000 mark. Pretty amazing. Thank you, everyone.
Those are two fantastic milestones to hit. Thank you, everybody, for donating. There are still lots of donation incentives and bid wars to put the money towards. All this money is going to the Trevor Project. And I only got a little bit more about this boss fight left, so there is a little bit of time if you wanted to. I don't know if that donation had a comment, or if you wanted to pitch to charity a little bit, this is a good time to do so.
That one had no comment, but we also have a $50 from Rizma, which says, "What a great way to spend the weekend. Looking forward to the rest of today." Thank you very much. And to remind everyone, we're raising money for the Trevor Project, which is the leading national organization providing crisis intervention and suicide prevention services to LGBTQ youth.
I'm gonna be behind this tree for just a second. Just another second. It didn't let that jump finish. What I'm doing behind the tree here is I'm just jumping over the water that I can't swim in yet, and then I'm going to save and quit. Since the game has nowhere, it can't put me in water, I can't stand on water, it just finds the nearest bit of dry land to put me on. which means even though I can't usually jump over those islands that way, it is going to let me escape without too much trouble. Now we're gonna head right back to this cafe I did. Then I did that first clipping, this flower pot clip. We're gonna go right here. Boom. You just walk right down into it. You tap left a couple of times, and it really is that easy. There is a wall there that just doesn't quite connect. So it's very easy to slip out there. Now we're gonna head into Nibble Tunnel. I keep getting this confused with Young Cave, but the point being, it is dark in here, so I'm gonna listen here for a second. Yeah, nope, I am stuck. Actually, see right there. So I got to do another extra save and quit. I was not down in the corner enough. There we go. Now we're through that dark tunnel. Normally the first ability you acquire in the game is glow in the dark ink, which makes those caves no problem. But obviously, I don't have that yet. And glow in the dark ink, that particular ability is the only one in the game where if you don't get it when you're supposed to, the game just won't give it to you. So we're actually not going to be able to see in the dark at any point in this run unless the game intends for us to do so. Like it'll have some lights in certain areas and things like that. But we just skipped through the entire Wielder Temple. If you haven't played this game before, there are lots of little Easter eggs and hidden things and messages and nooks and crannies, especially in that Wielder Temple. So we gloss over a ton of that in the speedrun, of course, but it is a fun place to just spend some time exploring. Now I'm putting some ink down. One of the really fun things about this game that we're not going to get to explore in the speedrun is that everything is paintable. Like even the background and the boss fights is paintable. Although, you know, it's dark and creepy and corrupted here, so the ink doesn't stay. But you can draw here. You can draw on every screen in the overworld and the cave systems. It's also going to give you, I want to say 16, but I might be short counting it. But it gives you lots of different like drawing prompts to give you some inspiration of what to draw on a canvas. Lots of little things, different ways to express your creativity and have something just to help you find some inspiration for what to draw. Oops. Wasn't paying attention to the eyeballs. I don't know if it's an official name or not, but I know that in the pre-release builds that had a chapter select for testing purposes, this boss fight was called the Night Hare. I should say this boss was called the Night Hare. Don't know how official any of those were, but the pun always made this my favorite move. You're also not meant to have the jump ability here, so it does make dodging these tentacles quite a bit easier, since they can't really box you in. I think it's got one more attack, and then we'll be cleaning up this fight and moving on to the next. And then we had talked before the run, and I had said, I parroted this right back. I said, hey, before I start the run, I need to let people know when the bid war for the costume is going to end. We talked about this, we really did, and it is my fault that I forgot to mention. We are a couple boss fights away from having to lock that down, though. So it's not right now, but let me think. I've got this run. I've got this boss. Where we're going next? We're going to dinners next. So probably when we're getting into the next boss fight, we do want to lock that down, actually. So we're looking at maybe 10 minutes or so, if that. So maybe it is a little bit closer than I was thinking. As you can see, it's dark in this room and I don't have glow in the dark ink. Just making sure the fill tool is working. What I do have is the ability to swim on land in my own ink. So what I'm trying to do, there we go, is just use the fill tool, fill in the nooks and crannies so I can swim out from that area. You know what, for that one, you know what, I think it is going to be closer to 10 minutes because now I think about it, I need to be able to swim for one of the costumes, so that's a little bit later in the run. So we've got probably about 10 minutes from now to close that bid war. It's actually going to be 2 boss fights. I need the other ability. Oh, missed a little bit of ink. I don't want to fall in, so just take it a little bit slower there. Down. Now we're still out of bounds, cutting through town. Being able to go out of bounds in this game really shrinks the map down quite a bit. It feels a lot like speedrunning the original old gray Game Boy version of Link's Awakening, where if you use like screen warping and other things to get out of bounds, you can really just hop around the map very quickly and find all sorts of unintended paths and see how the game was really programmed versus how it actually plays out. This, by the way, is our transit pass. We now have unlocked fast travel in the game. It's very important I bring this up now that I walk by this bench. You don't have to get on the bench, you don't have to sit on the bench, you just have to walk on the screen that the bench is on, or you can't fast travel there. And that one feels bad because that's a pretty long walk back there if you don't have it later on. That is not the exit. Got. There we go. That's the way out of town. If you're a fan of Wandersong, a little Easter egg here for you. And if you haven't played Wandersong yet, that is also a very fun game with a unique playing mechanic. Where this game focuses on painting and drawing, Wandersong focuses on making music. That one's a lot of fun. There we go. The cave system. Now we're pretty far underground actually, and right next to the next boss fight. Skipping not just a whole lot of walking around and puzzling, but a lot of dark areas I wouldn't be able to see in. Right first. There we go, and then down. Oops. Let's just not fall back in bounds, okay? There we go. Gonna take us to my favorite boss fight of the game. See, there's now 2 colors on the screen when I draw. Getting fancy now. Oop. I missed 2. I missed a bunch. There we go. What am I missing? Which one am I missing? I'm missing one still. Ah! There we go. So this is our fight against Dark Waffles. And when he's this color scheme, I need to make Dark Waffles hit himself with his own paint. When he's the inverted of this, as he started out the fight, I need to hit him with my brush. So I have to keep track of Dark Waffles' position. Sometimes they'll mirror me, but not all the time. You need to keep track of the AoE circles on the ground. Dodge Final Fantasy 14 AoE circles. Make sure you're dealing damage. But what really gets tough is when they desync from my movement. Because then you have to watch yourself, watch the damage coming in, check their position, and then make sure you're hitting them with the right brush. There's a lot to keep track of in this fight. It's a lot of fun. Not saying great at it, but it is a lot of fun. it scratches a different part of your brain, this particular boss fight versus the rest of the game. It's just a little bit different. And we will see, oops, ouch, ouch, ouch. We will see this mechanic again later. There we go. And now my new ability is the ability to swim on walls. So I can swim on land, I can swim on walls, but I still can't swim in water. And that's the ability we're going to unlock. That's not the next thing I'm going to go do, though. Now I have to get out of this underground area, and you might be thinking, well, why not just lead the way you came in? And unfortunately, I can't go out of bounds in the room I used to get in here. I've got to find another way out. There we go. Come on. There we go. Here we go. Here's where the fun starts with the not having the glowy ink. So somewhere around there is a vine. If the vine is full of ink and there's a little bit of ink outside it, I can swim into the vine. The problem is right around here are those bug creatures that are going to eat my ink. I heard it. That's good. Now I need to wander around a crystal that's up here. And if I'm in the right spot and I jump, screen should change there. Nice. First try. One more screen change. Navigate it out of the caves. And right into the next boss fight. Very quickly here. And as far as the build war is concerned, I have this boss fight. As soon as we finish this, we're going to hop right into another boss fight. It's very rapid fire. Boom, boom, boom. And then after that boss fight, I'll be able to go get any costume that's on the bid war list. So that would be a good time to close it at that point. And I'll have all of my abilities at my disposal to be a little bit quicker to get them as well. In that particular skip, getting to this boss fight by cutting through the cave section is a huge time save because there is a lot of puzzling and platforming to get to this particular room. In the second half of the game, the story's going to send you off to clear 4 different trials, and one of the other trials is also fairly long, but it's some fairly simple platforming. It's a very pretty area of the game, but relatively speaking, it's pretty simple. This particular part of the game, though, there's a lot to do. There's a lot of platforming. You're in the dark a lot. We actually have to set the brush on fire at one point. It's really, really cool. It's really neat. But it takes so long to do. I guess all the trials really do take a while if you do them to vanilla, now that I think about it. Because Spoon's Island can also take a while. But this one just feels like it's the furthest out of the way. Look out. It's also the only one that has a boss fight at the end. The other 3 trials we're going to take on do not have any combat at the end, such as combat is in this game. Move! I was just standing there, looking pretty. Here we go. Oof, oof, oof. That's fine, that's fine. Are you out of hit points yet? Come on. There we go. And we skipped a whole bunch of cutscene, but eventually end up back outside, save and quit to the ledge. back down to the fast travel bench. First of all, we're going back home. I shouldn't say back home. We're going back to the wheel tower. That's the swamp. I clicked on the wrong bench. I sure did. Let's try that one more time. First time in a while, we're going back to the wheel tower. There we go. Check on our friend Chicory. It's locked. Oh, goodness. Oh, my. They are in a hurry. Cutscene. And this boss fight's a lot of fun, too. It looks very, very cool. Very, very pretty. It is, however, completely an auto-scroller. There is at no point will I be able to deal damage here. It is just trying to avoid the damage. So this is a good time to talk about the charity, read any donations or any donations that might have come in. Anything like that, this is a great time to do it.
All right. Just want to remind
This is
everyone...
also, now that I think about the last boss fight, pardon me, the last thing I'm doing before I'm going to go pick up our costume.
Okay.
So if you have any last minute donations for that bid war, now is the time.
First, to remind everyone what that is, we are having a bid war to choose the costume for the rest of this run. Currently, Manderville Man is winning, so I assume that's Final Fantasy XIV reference.
Yes.
If you don't want that, make sure to get your donations in.
Oh, goodness. Stop typing Japanese. No. Why are you typing Japanese? Stop. Get off the Japanese. It's on. Go ahead. I'm gonna mute myself. You go ahead. I apologize.
We are raising money for the Trevor Project. They are the world's largest suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization for LGBTQ young people. The organization works to save young lives by providing support through free and confidential suicide prevention and crisis intervention programs on platforms where young people spend their time. They have 24/7 phone, lifeline, chat, text, and soon-to-come integrations with social media platforms. So make sure to keep getting your donations in. It's an amazing cause. And we've also partnered with the Yeti to bring you shirts based on various games throughout the event. They'll be on sale for only as long as the marathon is, so make sure to pick them up right now. And $5 from each shirt sale goes directly to the Trevor Project.
Those shirts look awesome. Also, by the way, like they always do, but those shirts are really cool, so definitely check those out. I apologize for that. So one of the other games I speedrun is Typing of the Dead 2, which is a Japanese typing game. So if I hit Windows key Shift, it'll switch to a Japanese keyboard layout, which is really great for a Japanese typing game and not so good when it starts. I can see in the corner it's starting to input hiragana and not actually moving my character. I don't know how much of that UI actually gets captured by OBS. But if you saw a stream of hiragana flying across the screen, that's what that was.
I don't think it was captured, but I think you're good.
All right, good. All right, now we're on to the last phase. I did see somebody in chat ask earlier. I don't think I mentioned it this run, but all bats does stand for all bosses and trials. We get to skip a lot of cutscenes still in this run. We get to skip a lot of content as far as how we get to those bosses and those trials, and how we clear them. But we do have to clear all of them, one way or another. Stay over there. Roar. There we go. And that is the end of the boss fight. So should be wrapping up and closing off that bid war now. I don't know if anything was going to catch our lovely Manderville man.
Manderville man, yep.
All right. Which piece do I want to get first? The one I'm more worried about because it's in the darkness is the one up here by Dinners. So we'll head here first.
Oh, we actually got a last-minute donation bringing bees into the lead. Is it too late?
No, it's not too late at all. It's not too late at all.
We had a
what I have pulled up is
Heck.
notes for the Manderville man. Give me just a second. Where is the bee? Well, I've got to find my notes for the bee. The bee has not won before. So this is going to be new for me. I haven't actually gone after the bee. Oh, that's in I know where this is. Okay. Oh boy, that's really oh. Okay. Let me think. I gotta take the same path I just took down to Feast. We could have gotten this a little bit earlier, but I saw Manderville Man was in the lead, so I didn't want to close off the bid war too early, because Manderville Man takes a little bit longer to get. I really got to be able to swim on water for that, or it just gets it's just really tough to get in and out with any kind of speed without being able to swim in the water. And the bee is a little bit different. It's a little bit of backtracking. That's okay. It's going to be a little bit of extra walking getting any of these costumes anyway. Back into the darkness. Here we go. Hold on. Wrong way. Oh, I gotta get my bearings here. Lead the boss. Come up this way. There we go. Swim up this wall here. This one's gonna be easy to get. That'll help. There's a little bee antenna. And then the bee is over there. See if I can sneak my way over there. The save and quit. That is the options menu. There we go. There we go. There's our little bee outfit. Now, the fun thing about these outfits is not that there's just a bunch of them to collect. As I said, everything in this game is paintable, and that includes you. Kingmaker says a little. It's RNG right now. You get 4 different colors to choose from in each section of the game. There's also custom color palettes you can unlock, but we're not going to go quite that far for this run. But as I'm traveling through the world map, I'll keep an eye out for maybe more of a yellow for our bee, unless unless somebody has a different color preference for the bee. You can also lock the colors. There we go. Colors locked. There we go. Oh, fun. I get to get out of here now. I don't want to do that boss fight again, though. Got it. Man, that feels good when that goes well. Oh. Maybe it didn't go so well. Maybe it didn't go so well. No, I'm still up there. Where am I? Must be... I see. Come on, let's reset. I think I hit the vine and then got stuck on the crystal that's up there and just got lost. Or I hit the wrong vine, one of the two. There we go. One screen over will be the exit. Instead of going up to the boss fight, we're just gonna hop down. There I am. Come on. There we go. We've escaped with our bee costume. I was actually a lot faster to get to than the Manderville man. That was going to be quite a bit of platform. We're going to go on a little bit of a tour. So in terms of the speed run, thank you for joining for the B. In terms of all of us who are we're eagerly awaiting Final Fantasy 14 and Waker coming out, and Waker and Walker coming out, and have not been able to log into that quite yet. We'll have to wait just a little bit longer to see the Manderville Man. Hopefully not a whole other expansion. That would be good, because I miss our friend. Here we go. We're gonna start new trials, but first we got one more boss fight to do. Had to get my bearings again. Sorry. One more time through the cafe, into another cave, into another cave. Where am I? Where am I? I'm up there. I'll just walk it out from up here. Trying to get to the bottom half of the screen, but we'll wait. I'll get over here. There we go. And we spent quite a lot of time walking through the dark in this particular, I shouldn't say in this one, but on this particular route. Since you don't get glow in the dark ink, you do spend a lot of time walking around through the dark. This is going to take us to our first boss fight against the big giant eyeball. And this is normally when we would unlock a glow in the dark ink. If you've played the trial, the demo version of this game, this is as far as you can get. Oh, I missed. How did I miss it? There we go.
Do we have a moment for a donation?
Absolutely.
The donation that brought us into B territory was $50 from Hex, who said, "A painting speedrun woefully underpopulated by bees? This looks like a job for Dr. Bees." So that's who we can blame for the bee costume.
Bee costume's really cute, though. I was so busy mowing that hitbox, I forgot I had to deal damage there. Oop. Alright, let's start moving around. Here we go, and you can see, as soon as you skip cutscene of the boss fight, it just unceremoniously just spits you out. Only if you're doing that boss fight out of order. I'm not sure if maybe because that was in the demo and it just was done differently in the rest of the game, but that boss fight just works a little bit differently. So take us to technically our second trial. Our first trial was that fight against Blackberry. Can you land? There we go. Now for this trial, we're supposed to explore this very, very pretty big, large area of the rainforest, looking for these 4 brush flowers. We plant the brush flowers next to the big old brush flower tree here. We get a whole lot of plot information. It's actually really interesting. I do like the story in this game, but it's not relevant for the speedrun. However, if you can manage to get to the end, whether or not you have the flowers, the game is just going to give them to you. The flowers you pick up are really just a placeholder or a counter, however you'd like to designate that. I didn't even get the first jump. There we go. I'm walking right by the bench. No, I was gonna go pick up the monocle. That's 2 trials down. We're gonna head right to Spoon's Island. Spoon's Island's gonna be very, very quick. Almost blink if you miss it as far as Spoon's Island goes. If I can find any good bee colors here. Up to the right. There we go. Get out. There we go. Yeah, there's not a screen to the left of there, by the way. Here we go. It's a little two-tone color for our honeybee. Two different two different shades. And that's the end of the trial. There is a ton, I mean a ton of, I guess line puzzles. I'm not sure that you have to like connect the dots and lines and different things. There's a lot of puzzling to do in this particular part of the game. Not just to get through the trial, but also to pick up all the items there. There's a lot of stuff hidden on Spoon's Island. But if you just save and quit and break the boundary there, you can just skip right to the end, draw your self-portrait, and be on your merry way. Also, I don't think I talked about in this one either, but you will see litter scattered about the world, and the litter is actually collectibles. You are supposed to help protect the environment, clean up the environment, and pick up all the trash. You do get rewards for doing that if you're doing a 100% run. Or I guess not even if you're just doing 100%, if you're, the collectathon type. There's lots of litter to collect. It's gonna take us to, was the, and I don't think the mountain climb was on the, it was not. So we'll get to just super swim up this mountain today. But one incentive that I do sometimes offer is rather than to take this very Zelda-esque super swim up the mountain, to actually climb up and do all of the platforming here. The music is very nice, and it's a fun area to play in, but it does take a fair bit longer. This out of bounds area is kind of special. I can't really, now that I'm, I want to say crouch, but now that I'm swimming, I can't actually stand up here. I can't jump. And if I were to save and quit, the game's most likely going to put me back in bounds, which I don't want. But as long as nothing pushes me back in bounds, I don't try and do anything too fishy out here other than just be somewhere I'm not supposed to. It should let me just stay out of bounds. Cut all the way up the mountain. And the last thing to see is if I can get this cutscene skip and stay out of bounds, and I can. It's not going. Oh no! It let me through. It let me slip through that spot there, and rather than catch a couple of text boxes, we come up here and we're gonna skip that cutscene, which is unfortunate. One of the donation incentives I do not ever offer is singing the musical number that is part of that cutscene. That is, you're not gonna get that from me. That should be all 4 trials, right? 1, 2, yep, got those, got all the bosses, got the costume. We're ready to go. Back on the bench. Back to the Wheeler Tower. Things are really bad. It's dark and spooky. All the corrupted trees and stuff are here. It's not good. Now, the only speed trick, if you will, that I haven't been using this run is the full use of the skip cutscene button. You can assign it to any key you'd like, and then obviously it'll skip a cutscene. But what's not evident is that these nice screen transitions are programmed as cutscenes, which means this nice little wipe effect when you move from one screen to another can be skipped. I generally don't do that for marathon runs because that can be hard on the eyes. I'm the one playing it, and it's not pleasant for me. So unless I got the pedal to the metal and I really want to start shooting for good times, I generally don't do that. I only mention this now because if you skip these cutscenes, these screen transitions, the game will not count you moving from one room to the next sometimes. And you theoretically could be stuck here forever because you have to be lost for X number of screens, however the game keeps track of that. So if you keep skipping cutscene on the right frame, you could theoretically be stuck there forever. You will at the very least be stuck there a lot longer than you need to. So you don't want to skip cutscenes there. regardless of whether or not you're doing it for the rest of the run. But yes, that was the last boss fight. By the way, it went poorly. We lost. We no longer have the brush. It's very sad. We can't even get back to town because we can't swim or do any of the fun stuff we were just doing. So our friend Lemon's gonna help us out here. Who normally you can talk to very early on in the game, when you first get the brush and make friends. But despite the fact we didn't really introduce ourselves to Lemon earlier, Lemon's gonna help us out. Is swimming us across this river so we can get back into town. Macaroon. Macaroon's so cute. Macaroon's just so grumpy all the time, so grumpy looking. And an unskippable cutscene here. This is a good time to. I'm not sure what Bid Wars might be coming up next.
We actually have one for the next run for New Super Mario Bros. 2 to choose who gets played in the second half of the run, whether it's Luigi or Mario. So if you have a preference with that, Luigi's currently winning, but that can be changed.
It could be. Doesn't have to be. Luigi is he's a perfectly fine choice, I would say. There we go. Got my mouse cursor back. Got the brush back, and now we're gonna do this final boss fight. For real this time. Come on. First phase of fights, pretty simple. Just keep moving. You should be fine as long as you're not just moving horizontally. But we're going to go through your standard boss refight. Oops. Marathon here after this first phase. I need to start to see some of those elements of that coming in already. You phase change. Come on. I came so close. Just didn't hit. There we go. Now we're more mirrored to my movements. Now the trick's a little bit different here. So I need one of these starbursts to hit Evil Waffles, and then they can deal damage. Right back to it. Avoid all of the stamps. All these symbols are different stamps. I think these are the default stamps you have unlocked at the start, but there's a collection of stamps you can unlock as well. I missed everything. I miss absolutely everything. For another set of starbursts. That one, man, it just didn't want to go off. Oi! Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. All right, back to the first boss fight of this run, at least. So they can't seem to hit the target. It sure would be nice if somebody would show up to help me out. At some point, I'm gonna learn the timing of this. It sure would be nice. Oh, hey, we look at that. There we go. So we're gonna have our friend Chicory here help us out for the rest of this fight. We just gotta make sure I'm hitting the right one here. I can't actually deal damage until good Chicory lands a bind attack on uncorrupted Chicory. There we go. Oh, come on. Wait, I think I had that backwards. Good dodge, good dodge. Yeah, I think it was one of them backwards. I know one of them has a cape on and the other doesn't. Doesn't mean I don't get them mixed up sometimes. All right, new phase. And one extra thing to pay attention to here, but you'll know it when you see it. Hello? Oof. There we go. Took a while. So you gotta make sure you get your friend Chicory free whenever they get bound. Just one more phase here on Blackberry. Then the grand finale of the fight after that. Yeah. I'm not sure when the next bid war for New Super Mario Brothers is going to close, but the end of the run is coming up here very quickly. So if you need to get donations in for one sibling or the other, there now is you are probably quickly running out of time for that. Oh no, that's for the end of the run, huh?
It's for
you
the
know what?
second half,
That's what I
there's
get
still
for
time.
trying to help with a game I don't know off the top of my head. So you might have time for that. But we're coming up on the end of this run, so if you want to get your donations in before the end of this run, you are running out of time for that. That's what I get for trying to be helpful on the fly. It says right there the second half of the run, but get your donations in. Don't wait anyway. Get them in before your internet cuts out or something crazy like that. on. There we go. Whoop. I do not like the kaleidoscope attack. This should do it. Here we go. Everything's exploding, and the timer's gonna stop when the game fades to white. There we go. That's time. Chicory All Bats 1.0, which just means we're running on an unpatched version of the game, usually on Steam. I'm not sure if you can downgrade your console ports or not. This game's available on Steam, as well as PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. If you're interested in trying it out, either as a speedrun or just as a casual game, it's very, very fun. It's a great storyline and obviously a very unique mechanic to it. Painting experience, drawing ability is not required to play this game, obviously. But I don't want to go on too long. Thank you very much for inviting me to do this run. I'll see everybody later for Earthbound later tonight.
All right, thank you so much for that run. That was Chicory by SushiKishi. We'll have set up shortly for New Super Mario Bros. 2. Stay tuned.